Last but not the least, we have Nachiket Deole, Head of Sales India, DoubleVerify, who will talk about trust and transparency in the digital advertising ecosystem. Please welcome Nachiket to the stage.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. So good to see a room full of audiences at 6 p.m. before the drinks. But I'm not going to take much of your time, guys. I'm Nachiket. I represent this company called DoubleVerify. We are an ad verification company providing brand safety, ad fraud, viewability solutions to the marketers, and as well as provide AI optimizer called DV Sybits, which automatically optimizes all your programmatic campaigns and brings in efficiencies. Yeah. Now I'm going to talk about building trust and transparency in programmatic ecosystem. And honestly, I don't know why I'm still talking about it. I think last we spoke about it was probably when the tortoise won the race. We're still talking about it when US is hosting T20 World Cup. It's no more a challenge, guys, right? It's no longer a challenge. But the challenges are increasing with the evolving digital ecosystem, right? Now, main three challenges why still marketers or agencies are thinking about not going out loud on programmatic. Technically speaking or statistically speaking, everybody says that 40% of our digital budget goes on programmatic. But do we really understand what programmatic is? I mean, out of that 40%, probably 39.9% will be on PG deals and PMP deals, right? That's not programmatic. We are not talking programmatic when you are routing certain buys via DSP. That's not programmatic. Programmatic is buying audiences and not buying platforms, right? But we're still further away from reaching that scenario where we can trust blindly. We know where our ads are going, and while we're buying audiences, we are buying audiences with quality publishers and quality inventory. The moment we as an industry starts building that ecosystem and confidence, then obviously I think advertisers and agencies will follow the suit and embrace programmatic in a true sense, right? But what are major challenges that we see, right? First is quality of content. And I'm going to talk about it, how it's evolving and how it's changing in the new era, right? Fraud obviously is a big concern when it comes to programmatic, and scale and complexity, right? I'm going to dwell down into each of it and what it really means. But it doesn't stop there. When it comes to programmatic, right, there are a lot of new elements coming with each passing day, right? We are thinking about programmatic being a black box, right? We do not know where the ad is going. Now we have MFAs, right? That's a new animal that has come up. Then there are retail media networks where they have owned and operated inventory, as well as they have outside of network inventory. How do we control that? We're talking about attention measurement now, right? We have been talking about videos, displays, VTR, views, viewability. What after that? Now everybody wants to start measuring attention, right? That's another animal. So overall, there are a lot of these challenges with each passing day coming the advertisers' way and the digital strategies, right? Now, if you double click on content quality, why it is becoming a problem? So there are multiple studies now which claims that a lot of content on internet or digital in general will be AI generated. Can anyone guess what those studies claim that in probably 4 years from now, what percentage of content will be AI generated on digital? Any number, any guesses? 60? Anyone wants to get it? I mean, we're not going to call out loud. Any number? No? 95% of digital content will be AI driven in next 3 to 4 years. Right? Now, if content is getting created, generated at that scale, imagine the challenge it throws in front of advertisers, right? Today, with such a limited scale, advertisers are still scared of using programmatic or long tail sites. With that amount of content coming in, it's obvious from marketers to be wary of it, right? They're vulnerable on every single instance of delivering the creative on that media, right? With DV, what we've seen is about 1.3 billion minutes of video content getting updated on a daily basis globally, right? 350 million social posts are on a daily basis getting delivered. And 54% of the marketers believe generative AI significantly negatively impacts media quality, because with deep fakes, with clickbaits, right, it's going to be very, very difficult for advertisers or agencies, even for technologies, to really bifurcate what is real, what is not real, what is fake, and what is not fake, right? So we need to be really, really careful about it. Fraud schemes are growing day by day, right? We have seen about 58% increase in streaming fraud. Now, why it is happening? Because of the changing consumer behavior, right? The more we start using certain media types, the fraudsters will start following that. Fraudsters start following money, right? So the more media channels, the more inventories that will open up, the more it will be more prone towards fraud. 269% increase in average number of variants per screen seen. And it's not only about these numbers. The fraud signatures are mimicking user behavior, right? It's no longer a stagnant behavior from the bots. Now, if a human is spending 15 minutes on Netflix, 30 minutes on Amazon Prime, and so on and so forth, then bots are mimicking that behavior. Imagine for a system to now distinguish between a real human versus a bot, it's going to be extremely difficult, yeah? And almost 2x as many mobile apps we have been investing now compared to last year, right? So again, immense challenge from the scale and understanding perspective. Plus you add manual optimization, right? It doesn't work. Media buyers, the study says spends about 25% of their time manually optimizing. And on how many parameters would they optimize on? Maybe 3, 4, 5, 6? Is that a real optimization? No. With the scale that programmatic brings in, is that going to be even humanly possible to do this? No, right? So you need systems, you need tools, you need technologies to kind of conquer these challenges, which are not going to be so linear going forward. Yeah. And then comes a classic media quality problem, right? Which still remains. And if you look at your general media buy at this point of time, our understanding is you're wasting about 35% of your media budgets on non-performing media at a basic level, right? Just when you buy the inventory without any tech interference, right? We all know that viewability is probably about 60-70% on display and video. So on that level, 30% of your video ads are not even viewable, right? They don't even have an opportunity to be seen. 30% budget went then and there, right? 7% ads are adjacent to unsuitable content, minimum 7%, right? That's a massive number. It's a brand safety issue. Fraud, we all know, varies from 2% to 14%, right, in that sense. So if you look at hypothetically spending about $1 million in digital media with 35% wastage, you're looking at about $350,000 worth of media which is non-performing for you, right? And we know that, but we still don't want to know that, right? That's where we are. We know that there are fraud issues, we know that there are viewability issues, we know that there are brand safety issues, but we tend to ignore that. And it's very easy fix to it, right? It's not very difficult to solve for it, right? So there are tools, sorry, it's a sales pitch. So there are tools like DV who will help you at least curb the basic wastage of media, right? So you can start measuring viewability, optimize on the formats that give you better viewability, not necessarily larger formats. Larger screens will deliver better viewability for you, right? There are smaller ad formats placed in the right environment, in the right position on the page can give you still better viewability, right? So these insights you need to know and start optimizing towards it. Understand at a placement level, publisher level, where the fraud is coming from, and start optimizing towards better performing publishers who deserve better budgets from you because they're taking effort to deliver better impressions and better audiences for you, right? Enjoy, I'm not going to talk much about it. Brand safety, we saw about 7 to 10% of the inventory goes on unsuitable content. Now, I'm not saying unsafe content, right? There are still unsuitable content basis the category that you operate in or basis your brand's ethos, right? For example, an alcohol brand wouldn't want to be present on parenting side or kids side, right? Vis-a-vis a kids brand wouldn't want to be present on drug abuse or alcohol kind of content. So you need to play basis your brand's philosophies and ethos and choose the publishers, partners, and the placements where your ads are adjacent to the right content, right? So there is a basic solve for at least saving 35% of your non-working media, and probably it will not solve for all 35%, but it will solve for 20%, 25%, right? Still worth giving it a shot, yeah? And then we saw how AI is changing the whole game, right? So how we at DV are tackling the AI challenges in front of us, right? So we classify our solutions in three buckets. One is fraud AI, classification AI, and predictive AI. So fraud AI, now with machine learning models paired with human oversight to it, we can pretty much conquer what fraudsters might be building to siphon the money off, right? So with a deterministic methodology that we follow, we are now probably detecting about more than 2 million fraud signatures and fraudulent devices on a daily basis, right? Massive number. Classification AI plays really key role to help advertisers deliver brand safe inventory. Right now, with classification AI and semantic science, it's no longer keyword based classification of any page, right? It's understanding the context of that keyword. So an apple can be an iPhone, it can be a chemist next to you, it can be a fruit, right? So where the apple keyword is residing, in what context is something that the classification AI now is able to deliver and derive. And predictive AI, very important and very interesting now. This is where we help drive real-time campaign optimization for brands on programmatic as well as on YouTube, right? This is where the AI kicks in to start to build algorithm to buy the right impression at the right cost, right? There is no human intervention required. It probably optimizes on more than 200,000 parameters as it starts optimizing on, and we've seen phenomenal results when we have deployed it for our customers. I have a couple of case studies after this to walk you through, guys, right? So a couple of case studies. I have 2 minutes. I'm going to wind up in 2 minutes. So how we have driving efficiencies for brands with these solutions, right? So one of the FMCG brands, we saw that there are about 10% inventory was blocked due to brand safety issues, right? It was appearing on non-brand suitable content. With DV solutions, when we deployed to avoid those impressions, we saw that 10% drop into 2%, right? So earlier, 10% of impressions which were going waste on non-brand suitable content now has been reduced to just 2%, right? Not only that, it also helped us optimizing on viewability, right? So we increased the viewability, which was about 68% to 78% post deploying DV solutions. So that's 11% increase on viewability. So about 82% drop on brand suitability instances, 11% positive movement on brand viewability scores, which resulted in reducing 18% on CPM for the quality CPM that you buy, right? It's not just impression, but all the quality impressions which are brand safe, viewable, fraud free, and delivered in geo, right? So massive numbers, good results, positive yield, and of course good audiences. We spoke about generative, predictive AI, which is where DV Sybit Solutions comes in. Spotify's objective was to deliver registrations and installs for their apps, right? So we deployed algorithm optimizer, which is called Sybit. Sybit started optimizing on a daily basis, and the results were phenomenal, right? We saw about 22% increase in installs for Spotify, and we saw 18% drop on cost per registration when we started optimizing using AI, right? Again, everything automated, real time, happening daily basis, and delivering the KPI at much lesser cost that you have been planning for. We spoke about attention, right? How attention helps you deliver better numbers, right? One of our automotive clients started optimizing on attention, right? So we also measure attention on your communication brands. We started optimizing on attention. Attention index was about 124%. With that, we saw about 340% increase in click-through rates, right? Massive jump in CTRs when we started measuring. And of course, it helped us drop the CPMs to about by 7%, right? So any KPI, any result that you want to deliver, there are solutions already available in the market to deliver that at much, much better efficiency. Automation, which is kicking in to help you build the scale and achieve the results and deliver better ROAS for your brands or for your clients, right? I'm ending this with a slightly complicated slide. So typically, what you need to do is to make your media accountable, right? A simple path if you follow when you buy media, start from the bottom row where have your basic brand and investment safe by deploying brand safety and fraud solutions. Build onto it by driving efficiency using brand suitability and viewability measurement. If you want to add measurement on attention and contextual, which will help you boost the performance, that's the next layer. Obviously, first two layers are established, then you start adding the layer on top of it. And then drive outcomes by using auto optimization with algorithmic greedy to drive better outcomes and ROAS. My time is up. Thank you so much for being patient listeners. I hope it was valuable to you guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Nachiket, for the insightful session. Now, I would like to invite Rahul Puri, founder and editor at Agency Reporter, to please come on stage and hand over the token of appreciation. Huge round of applause, everybody, for Nachiket Deole.